What if the most honest adult drama of the 90s was marketed to teens? That's the paradox that changed TV. The hook wasn't romance. It was paperwork, grief, and choices no teenager should face. In 7 moves, we'll unpack how that tension reshaped an escapist era, why responsibility became the real lead, and how its echo shows up in beloved shows that came later. If you've felt the vibe but never named it, stick around. The map is here and it's sharper than you remember.
So we take the Fillmore bus to Geary and the Geary bus to Castro?
Castro line takes forever.
Number 1. The landscape, a world of escapism. Mid-90s TV sold comfort like a subscription, laugh tracks, tidy arcs, and problems that fit between commercials. But what did teens actually get each week? A carousel of romances, school squabbles, and music montages that promised you could miss an episode and never lose the thread. Meanwhile, 1994 set the tone. One side delivered a raw hospital rush that felt immediate. The other side handed you a bright hangout fantasy. Together they framed the era, intensity you could drop into, and friendship you could coast with. Networks read the room and doubled down on repeatable beats because stable tone meant stable ad buys.
Oh, I remember when you got this.
Claudia.
Presented to Julia Salinger as the most promising freshman in the
Do
whole...
you mind?
Industry incentives made the rules clear. Episodic closure wins the schedule. Keep the montage, keep the kiss, keep the reset. Serialized grief threw sand in that engine. It spiked risk, muddied the mood, and made syndication math harder. Ad buyers liked assurance, not volatility. So teen slots leaned bubbly by design. Romance arcs over systemic stakes. A-plot crush, B-plot dance. Buttoned with a tidy lesson. Against that backdrop, a show about minors running a household functioned like counter-programming. It walked into a party where no one wanted paperwork and put bills on the table. So when a so-called teen drama showed up dragging a legal pad, you felt the tonal drop. Now let's see how it bent the rules.
Okay, you guys, everything off your desks. I know you spent the evening with King Lear last night, so...
Number 2. The disruption, a new kind of realism. The pilot doesn't flirt with crisis. It starts in the wreckage. Parents gone, 5 kids left with a house, a business, and a baby. Not symbolism, a to-do list. The oldest is pushed into courtrooms and forms, the youngest into nap schedules and bottles. You tuned in for teen drama and landed in a workflow. Here's where the tension snaps. Instead of hallway gossip, you get probate, employment, and guardianship. Can a youth slot carry those stakes? Early beats say yes. The eldest steps in as legal guardian. The family restaurant flips from backdrop to income stream. School runs headfirst into survival. Teacher meetings compete with vendor calls. Homework yields to payroll. Every choice costs.
It'll work out. I'll work it out.
For God's sakes, Charlie, you already screwed up my night. Are you gonna tell us what's going on, or are we just gonna stand here?
Keep the doors open or keep your grades. Take the extra shift or take the exam. There's no clean win, only trade-offs. Like a strategy game where every move drains a different meter. Critics called it emotionally honest, and the 1996 Golden Globe for Best Drama stamped the approach as more than a stunt. The show worked as a system simulator. The hook was realism. The invisible labor of keeping a family alive rendered as plot. Once you see the gears turning, you start asking a bigger question. What blueprint is this show secretly teaching? Quick pause before we dive into the next hidden meaning. If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We've got even deeper Party of 5 theories. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's next.
What? Another announcement?
What'd you do this time? Lose the house in a poker game?
Look, I know I screwed up.
Number 3. The blueprint. Deconstructing the impact. Here's the twist. The show dresses like a teen soap, but underneath is a management manual. You get the hallmarks, crushes, friend fallouts, a hallway kiss, but the engine is calendars, cash flow, and signatures. How do you hide an adult drama in a youth slot and keep the remote from wandering? You split identity, market the angst, deliver the ledger, watch the recurring pattern. The A plot tees up a romance or a friendship rift. The B plot is logistics, who covers childcare, which shift gets dropped, whether guardianship paperwork is in order. The episode peaks not with a kiss, but a decision tree. Who quits, who pays, who signs. Cause and effect is the cliffhanger.
I'm not saying that I don't drink some, okay? I do. And occasionally, very occasionally, I have too much.
Critics later called out how the series normalized heavy topics, addiction, illness, domestic violence, by threading them through weekly chores. Relapse isn't a very special episode, it collides with Rent. Illness means coverage, rides, and rescheduling. A blow-up at home becomes a court date and an overtime scramble. The weight lands in checklists. Call it the hidden blueprint. Week after week, you're trained to weigh trade-offs like an adult, with teen bodies as the avatar. That dual coding kept it accessible and quietly radical. And when the bills come due, one theme shoulders the load. Responsibility.
Got some contacts to a couple AA groups in the area. One's at SF State, which is kind of convenient. I'm sorry, babe.
Number 4, the weight of responsibility. Responsibility isn't a vibe here, it's a second job. Who keeps the lights on when you're cramming for the SAT? The answer becomes a rota, not a wish. One kid files forms, one cooks, one works late, one soothes a crying baby at 3 a.m. The meter never stops ticking. Each arc is a tug of war with duty. A shot at a program clashes with a shift at the restaurant. A date night collides with guardianship rules. College plans bend around daycare, court dates, and budget meetings. Taking custody isn't a speech, it's signatures, hearings, and the quiet panic of being the name on every line. The family business isn't set dressing, it's payroll, invoices, and whether tomorrow's rent clears. The show drills down on small actions with big fallout. Skip a school event, keep the job, miss a shift, risk the bill, care for a baby while still a kid, and the choice is narrow. Critics locked onto that seriousness. Real consequences, delayed wins, no tidy reset. Long arcs like a drawn-out recovery or complicated pregnancy land because the weight doesn't lift after one scene. Treat responsibility as the lead, and teenhood reads like unpaid labor. And that lands because it feels lived in, not staged. But responsibility is only half the strain. The other half never leaves the room.
What if I said I wanted to show you the middle of the Golden Gate Bridge at 3 in the morning?
I'll be there.
Number 5, trauma's long shadow. Grief doesn't clock out after the funeral, it lingers, then hardens into habits, addictions, and long stretches of silence. On this show, that shadow is constant. You see it in anger that flares without warning, in missed calls, and choices that feel like self-sabotage because pain needs somewhere to go. Quick healing never arrives. Instead, coping breaks things. A relapse rots trust. Depression freezes momentum. A health scare pulls money from a thin budget and time from childcare. Sometimes the fallout crosses lines. Bad decisions that ripple through the house and the business. Arcs hit addiction, depression, illness, and domestic violence, and they don't wrap on cue.
I gave up going to a real college to save your ass. And now that I'm stuck in some little state school trying to make the best of it, you're trying to tear me down.
Substance abuse plays out across episodes, not a single lecture. A teen pregnancy alters schedules, income, and who can show up for whom. Panic meets parenting. Illness meets income. The trauma stacks with logistics, so every bad night has a bill attached. Retrospectives praise this approach because it treats harm as systemic and ongoing. The consequences live in work shifts, report cards, and court dates. That honesty gives the show an adult drama weight inside a youth frame. Letting trauma linger reframes survival as the genre. Healing becomes maintenance, slow, repetitive, and real. Which leads to the core redesign. What even counts as a family when the parents are gone?
What are you doing here?
Picking up Owen?
Owen? Well, he's not here. He was picked up already.
What are you talking about? Who picked him up?
Number 6, redefining the family unit. Traditional TV families have a net under every fall. Here the kids weave the net while they're still falling. The roles flip fast. The eldest takes legal guardianship. The middle kids split childcare. A baby sets the clock for everyone. You don't watch a sitcom rulebook. You watch a household charter get drafted in real time. Without parents, titles mutate. Big brother equals parent. Sister equals co-parent. Friends step in as social services, bringing rides, relief shifts, and late-night backup. Girlfriends and boyfriends aren't side plots. They pick up daycare runs, cover the restaurant, and sit through hard appointments. Romance doubles as infrastructure, which carries stakes most teen arcs skip.
Mrs. Medora.
You're kidding, that was him?
Yeah.
Bio class, right?
Him. But his big mistake was...
Schedules, shared income, and house votes replace curfews and prom plans. The calendar is the authority. Analysts point to how the show recenters the template on survival logistics. Childcare rotations, pooled wages, and who holds the keys. Arguing that's why it reads as authentic. Fans keep circling back to the sibling bond, treating it like the real love story. So, call it what it is. Not a broken family, a re-engineered one. Function over form. The unit survives because the work gets assigned and done. And that design didn't stay put. It left footprints you can still trace.
You were going out with Kirsten?
Claude, have a
With
roll.
Kirsten?
Can we order?
Sure, Charlie.
What are you having?
A steak.
Number 7. The Ripple Effect. Tracing the lineage. If you've watched later hits and felt the weight, this is where that tone learned to walk. The shift runs through late 90s and 2000s dramas that treated adolescence as pre-adulthood. Frank talk, serialized consequence, logistics as plot. Not just who kissed whom, but who covered the shift, who met with a counselor, who signed the form. So, which shows borrowed the blueprint, and how did they tune it? You see the dual coding everywhere. Teen-coded A-plots on the surface, adult calculus underneath. The weekly hook becomes a decision with a receipt attached. Keep the job, miss the game, reschedule the appointment. Retrospectives credit this series as the bridge from glossy soap to grounded, issue-driven storytelling. That's the common thread. Tone steady, stakes practical, fallout that rolls into next week. It gave TV a new grammar for youth stories: cause, cost, consequence. Like a heist movie where the plan is childcare and rent. Then the reboot proves the model travels. The original creators, Chris Kaiser and Amy Lippman, return and keep the survival engine intact, but swap the inciting incident. Death becomes detention and deportation.
Just what the hell do you think you're doing?
Excuse me?
Come here, Owen, are you okay? Look at me.
What's the matter with you? Of course she's okay.
Same workload, new policy context. The siblings still hold the line, so the legacy isn't faces launched, it's a tone and structure others speak fluently. The playbook was never about age, it was about pressure. The series sold teen angst but delivered adult calculus. Responsibility as led, trauma as setting, family as an engineered system. It trained you to weigh cost, time, and care like a ledger, then asked you to live with the math. As co-creator Amy Lippman put it, "We thought this is a really depressing concept. We should mind how difficult that would be in reality." If this breakdown helped name the feeling, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment with the arc that hit you hardest, and whether the reboot's update lands for you. Want more hidden blueprints behind so-called teen shows? Tell me which series to map next.